What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, plot swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys all had an absolutely incredible weekend. I am super pumped about this week. So we got free week this week from Monday through Friday. We only do this twice a year. So we got a lot of new faces in the house. We got a lot of the veterans in the house. We're gonna it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So just quick housekeeping for you guys, just hopping in and checking it out. Also, if you guys are watching on YouTube land, you guys are more than welcome. It's not too late. You can run over to reallifetrading.com. I believe I don't know if the stream is supposed, I don't know if we're keeping it open, not keeping it open on YouTube land, but all you guys have the ability to just go to reallifetrading.com, and this way you can guarantee yourself you're not missing anything throughout the day. But man, so many beautiful people in the house. I can't even run through this list today. You guys, overwhelmed. But we got Brad, Brenda, Brian. Good morning to Daniel. We got David J. We got Derek. There's another DJ. Oh, DJ number 2. What is happening? Greg Gilbert is in the house. Good morning to you. Jack S, Janet J, all you guys. Kevin, there's 2 Kevins, and then there's a Kevin Stone. Good morning to you as well. LW's in the house. We got Ron. We got Lorena, good morning. Absolutely fantastic to see everybody here. Interested in the market, interested in RLT. We'll probably go a little bit slower. So if old school DJ here. Got you. We'll probably go a little slower, especially in the beginning, just to keep everybody on speed, and then just keeping everybody in the loop. I don't want anyone to get lost. Make sure that you guys ask questions. So you guys all have the chat panels. Once you pull up the chat panel, also just double check that you're not on host and panelists. Make sure that you click on everyone, just so everybody can see your messages. And again, we want to be in the loop for everything. So we'll run through the R system. If you're not familiar with the R system, if you're not familiar with risk, as the market opens, I'm going to probably look to take some trades. If I see anything that I like, I'll take it. I'm going to write out my trades like this. I'm going to type it in the chat pane, just so you guys are familiar with it. Personal day trade. I'll say, I don't know, meta. I'll put entry by stop. Put a space in there for this one. So in the chat pane, you're going to see an entry like this from me. The first number is always your entry. The second number is always your stop. So if the stop is below, and I'll go through my analysis of why I'm taking something, why I'm not taking something. If you guys have tickers or anything's moving throughout the day and you're like, hey, check this out. Whether I personally take it or not, any of the moderators on the microphone will give you the feedback as far as like, hey, I agree. I think it looks good, or watch out. We got this in the way. We got a little resistance in the way, just to help you get a better understanding in other trade. There's a lot of trades that members and RLT people will point out in the chat, and I just physically cannot take them all, but just with the analysis and with all the traders watching all the different stocks, that typically leads to somebody else might take that trade or fits their trading plan, which is more important. All right, so we'll go through that. And again, if you guys have any questions throughout any of the week, my name is DJ Dan. Let me know. Shoot me a message through the chat. We have Johnny coming up. Let me show you guys where this calendar is as well, just so you guys know that. But reallifetrading.com. If you go to this reallifetrading.com, click on live trading and scroll down. Right, this will give you the full outline week of everything that we're doing this week. This will also give you the full month of activities. So we're actually down here. I don't know. I was going back in time to July, but this is our full week. And then this will also update as of tomorrow. So you'll see the full month of everything that all the different rooms, all the different classes. We have option trading. We've got the afternoon swing room. We've got everything. So make sure you guys check that out. But that's going to give you the calendar. So if there's anything, any of the classes or anybody teaching anything or moderator that you click with, that's how you know where to go to follow them. All right. Let's start with the SPY. Let's take a look at what's happening in the market. Of course, it's 2023. So that means we're just going to go bullish on everything. My one concern with this, and this is all these red lines, this is the VPOX. We've been watching this, I believe that was the Thursday candle, right? So we had a huge gap up, sentiment bullish in the morning, very bearish close to this day, bearish engulfing candle, covering 3 solid days of green. We've been just kind of channeling. You would expect this one to push higher. So with that little bit of a close and got right back into some weakness, this is definitely the candle we're still watching. We're still inside on this candle. So I don't want to go too bullish yet. We did survive one day, which was Friday. We did rally it right back. We had a nice little close. Everything was running bullish. We're still not above this VPOC yet, which is the highest volume for that day. So right now we're still opening below it. This could be a little bit of an area where we have a little bit of resistance and maybe we start to pull back, probably looking for support somewhere around 456, 57 on the SPY if we reject this. If we start breaking through this, I'll call it 408.02, so it's not to the penny, but it's to the kind of the range. If we start breaking above this 458.02, there's nothing else really above us stopping us from going higher. I got my next target for the SPY. I mean, here's some volume areas, right? So anywhere you see the spike in volume means there's people willing to put their chips on the table, willing to play the market, either bullish, bearish, any of these zones. And typically in here is good resistance, good support. You'll find right here, we've got nothing. So we got very little liquidity, very little volume area. And that would take us to the next key little spot, which is going to take us into the probably 464 range. Somewhere up there, 460s. Yeah, 466 looks decent. Not a lot of anything holding us back. So if we can get a little bit higher above that VPOC today, I think all engines are back on to the bullish direction. But I think we do have to approach this market with a little caution at open, because that is going to be a pretty solid resistance, I believe, until I see it break out, and we'll go from there. Rock Fullwood's in the house. Ron's got some plays on SoFi and Car. Let's take a look real quick at the Q, see how that one's reacting. there's yeah, Hector, a little hope on the put still. A little, not much. Yeah, I think your 0.001% is too high as well. I think that chance, I don't know, but we'll see. There's a chip in a chair. Qs look a little bit stronger today. The fact that we are breaking, we're already outside of that Thursday. We're still in that candle, but we are definitely outside of the VPOC from Thursday. We are gapping above the VPOC from Friday. Biggest concern here would be, so yeah, probably way less than 0.001 on on the Qs. Yeah, everything looks a little bit more bullish. We do still have some room up until probably 385.97, somewhere in that vicinity, 386.43. We've got two VPOCs right here, which I think is going to provide us a little bit of probably retest resistance. That could be a double top in a longer picture until we break it and we start breaking this 386. I'll call it 386.66, but somewhere in that range. If we start breaking that, then I think we do continue higher and probably flip it right back to calls, even though the market is extremely high. So, yeah, but it looks decently bullish, and that's a nice gap and go. All the bears that came in, all of those bears are trapped, and we had a relatively pretty decent close toward the high of that Thursday candle. So pretty impressive for the bullish strength that's in this market. It is crazy. All right, let me check out some of the. Clark says, how do I get into the room on the web? Go to reallifetrading.com. I believe there should be a banner that says 3 week somewhere. If somebody in the chat pane knows exactly how to get there, I'm not quite sure, but I think there's a you have to create your own little dashboard. So if you go to reallifetrading.com. It says my account. You could do that. And then there's an icon for free week that you would just click on every day to get in. All right. Yep, we got SoFi with earnings. So let's take a look real quick at SoFi. SoFi has a I don't know if the short float is as dominant as it was before. Let me see if they still have a decent short float. They had a big one before. All right, Finviz still puts about 14%. I would have thought some of that is gone after this. I think we had to squeeze some of these bears out already. Nice little gap up, definitely above 2 points of resistance, or strong point of resistance, I would say. It's still got that 14% short float. I'd be willing to give this a try. I feel like some of these short floats haven't been working too well lately. I don't really see there's any real resistance, probably up till about 1135, and maybe we could hit 1190 on this thing. That could be today, and that's a decent, for a $10 stock, that's a pretty decent gain. But yeah, they did have earnings come out, so it looks like they beat by almost Hector's percentage of chance on his puts, which is decent. And then another 14 million in revenue. One little resistance right here. We'll see where this thing opens up. We still got roughly 20 minutes. But targets could be about another $1. Let's put this one higher on the list. What is VPOC? VPOC is the point of control. It's the highest volume. That's a good question. So this is the highest volume of the day. So you see all the volume that's down here, and we'll actually go through this a little bit more when the market opens, especially if it dies down a little bit. So this down here is just volume, but it's based on time, right? So this is telling us during this candle, we had, okay, a decent amount of volume, a little bit more than probably average, right? The fact that we're looking at this candle right here, it has got a tremendous amount of volume. So this is people going bearish because the candle's red, it closed lower than it opened, but that's the volume for time, right? VPOC is going to be volume per price. So where this little red zone is, that's telling us where the highest volume was of at a certain price throughout the day, right? So obviously these are locked. This orange one is a developing VPOC. So this one will move during the day. I mean, I'm on a daily, but you'll see it when we're on a smaller time frame. This will move throughout the day, obviously, because the volume is changing throughout the day. But this is going to give you, so right here we have a VPOC. Right here we have another VPOC for the next day. Here's another one. So during this range, the volume is coming in at higher pricing, meaning that more and more people are looking at this thing as bullish and probably undervalued, and they're bidding this thing up, right? If during this sentiment, you're like, okay, well, we're still bullish, but now you're getting that little bit of a pullback, right? The VPOC is closing lower and lower. So people are probably taking profits. Maybe they're saying the bulls ran too much, and you're getting that little bit of a pullback. But we'll go through VPOC a little bit more. Also, I think Tracy's probably teaching maybe Tuesday. She's extraordinary at the VPOC, so she'll probably be doing a full class about that too. So definitely don't miss that one. What was the other one? Ron? Carr, right? The other one was Carr. They have earnings coming out. They probably had earnings already dropped, I would assume. But a little bit of a gap up on Carr. That's a decent high wave candle. I wish this thing was a little bit higher though, Ron. I don't think Carr has good short flow, do they? It's not horrible. Obviously, SoFi's got a little bit more. They got almost 7%. Decent high wave candle. I wish this thing got a little bit higher. I don't want this thing past 225.07 to really get in bullish. Otherwise, you might have a couple people selling here. And then you also have to deal with the 10 EMA on a daily that's coming in as well. So if we can get up to there, that takes us like 206, which is not bad. Not horrible. Obviously, this is a beautiful gap and go. This gap has not closed yet, but I think there's probably a little resistance on this one. So I'd probably take SoFi over CAR. But you could see a little volatility on this one. So we'll move it up higher. If this thing gets a pullback, it might be worth the buy. So that's my plan on this one. SoFi, I'm gonna be looking for some kind of dip at the open, maybe some kind of even just one red candle that we could take a break above. So SoFi, I'd be willing to try it with. CAR, I'm gonna need to see a little bit more of a pullback, I think. Palantir is moving. Yep, Palantir breaking out. I think we got to watch $19. Where's it at now? Pre-market 18.89. So watch out for the $19 range. If it starts to break 19, I think it's gone. There's nothing in the way. It probably could get us to about $20 and 20.50, something like that. Even that area kind of low on volume, and probably the next spot takes us to about $24, $25. In a longer term picture, I don't think we hit that today. How do you honestly keep track of all those stocks? Just watching the stock market every day. And you'll see too, I flip over to TOS, so I have multiple stocks on the screen at once. It's just your preference as to what you like to do better. You could do multiple screens on here too if you'd want to watch, but really it's just kind of at this point we're narrowing down what stocks has any type of interest, what stocks they could get some volume on, and we're looking for gaps, right? We want to see who's really trapped on this one. Palantir probably gets a pullback, I would think, at open, unless again we start closing above that $19 range. But if this thing starts pulling back, looking for like an 18.11 would be a decent spot to look to buy. You have to also assume that there was a lot of buying on Friday. I mean, we even had good volume coming in. Green candle. We did trap some of the bears on this candle. And we got held up at that last little resistance, that VPOC, and now we're getting that break above it. So what I would like to see on this one, I don't know what happens, but I would like to see a little pullback. This spot should be our new support resistance. And then we look to break from there. So that's what I think would happen on Palantir. But again, watch that $19 range. How can we get your chart set up? Indicators. This one is, so if you go to this one, this is where you type in your script that you're going to be looking to add. The one with the developing VPOC, that is the type in session volume profile, and that would be this one right here. The other one that I've been showing you guys that I use a lot too with these ones on the side, this is the Lux. So just type in Lux, Lux, volume profile. I didn't make any changes to this one. This one I did make changes, but we could go through those ones after the market opens. But those are the two main ones that I use for TradingView. Jay says SYM. Symbiotic. So this is a retest gap technically. This is actually an interesting one. So this is a retest gap from Friday. So some bulls might be profitable. Oh man, we were just up there. I was looking at this candle right here. This is your candle, and we were just above it. This one's probably going to be a little bit spreading, but all of that volume, if these bears start to get squeezed out of this thing, so I'd want to play it where it's almost a break of there. That takes us to 48.21. We were just there. We just got popped right back down. This one might be a little bit on the spready side, but that looks good. Even for a swing trade basis, you got to watch out for it because there is definitely a double top on a daily. And this thing's already run up like crazy. So I don't know how much further we go from here. Obviously, once we break this candle, we are still going to have to break this a little bit higher range, 5170, and then we're probably home free for another astonishing run. But for right now, you can't ignore the double top on this one. Otherwise, if we start trapping any of those bears trying to get out of the way, that might be decent. And again, probably a little bit spready. Volume might be low on this one, so we'll see. Somebody said Adobe, ADBE. Who was that? Derek. Nice little gap up on this. Definitely got some room to play, probably till 557. So we got some room. This, I believe, is also a retest gap. So, yep, let's look bullish on this one. Let's see if we can get a pullback at open of some type or extent. I'm going to throw this one higher on the list. Free week does not come with Slack, just because more of a logistical nightmare because you have to manually add people into Slack, and then it's crazy. But everything else is included with All Access Pass and all the rooms, all of that stuff. But yeah, not Slack, just because it's very difficult to do on a end. Let's see if we get a pullback. The real price that I'd like to buy this thing is 534.02. I don't think we get that type of a pullback, but this is a pretty decent gap up. Looks pretty bullish to me. I need a bigger pullback, so this will probably not be out of the. I just don't want to be the first one to buy this one. I want this thing to pull back. If I can get that pullback, that would be a decent buy opportunity. So let's see if this one does almost a 5-wave count downwards, and then I look to buy. I wouldn't short this thing either, so I wouldn't play the fade to short. I would only probably go bullish on this thing, but after a pullback comes in. There is classes throughout the day. Yep. So All Access, we do have, again, if you go to reallifetrading.com, there will be classes that we teach live throughout the week. And those you'll have all the access to. None of the recorded classes. You have at any time, you have all the free classes available to you. Yep. Tracy is coming in. So here's the calendar for the live rooms. Yeah, but any of the ones that we have a lot of free classes on your dashboard, those you guys could take advantage of anytime. But yeah, any of the premium ones, they would not be included. Correct. Somebody had another ticker, pins. Pin interest. Stick this off. This off. Nice little gap up. Again, a little bit of a retest gap. I think we could be a little patient at open. I don't think we have to jump in to get something immediately out of the gate today. With the SPY at a possible resistance, and then a lot of these things that are gapping up, they are coming from a pretty hellacious move bullish on Friday. We are at a little bit of resistance, so this one should pull back. Look for like a 28.46 bounce spot if we could get it. Let's go a little bit higher. Does look bullish. I love the fact that we're taking out that Thursday candle. So now we are definitely above that one, but into a little resistance. So again, pins if it pulls back. I just had this thing on the list. For some reason, TradingView did not want to pop this one higher. That's okay, though. Let's take a look at Tesla. I'm going to look at BABA, too, see if that one wants to get a little break. That one's been getting some bullishness. AMC and DPZ. Thoughts on W? We'll take a look at that as well. What I got? 6 minutes? I got this. All right, we got Tesla right into the daily 10. Watch that 10. Watch 268.83. So if we can start to break out of this 268.60 range, then we're above all moving averages again. We're above the 10. The 10 has been coming in, just clobbering this thing down. Looks like a little bit of a pennant pattern on Tesla. And we do got a huge gap above us, too. So if we could get a little bit higher, start closing above this VPOC in here. I will definitely be watching Tesla. Again, this is a little bit of a retest, so maybe we get some kind of retest down there. Even if we fall into this range, that might be an area for some kind of a bounce. So this Tesla might be a possibility for me if we get one small red candle somewhere as well. You see 0.05, maybe. I don't know. Let me see AMC. Then we'll go to Wayfair. Small gap up from the Barbie movie. I think that's where it came from. Be careful in this one. Obviously, short float is probably still pretty tremendous on AMC. Is AMC going to be a business in 10 years? That's the question. I don't know. So here you go. 29% short float. This one's for you, Ron. This is for you. We've got room probably to about $4.94 before we hit resistance. So you do have a little bit of room to the higher side. This is a gap and go. Support should be somewhere around 463. We came all the way back down. We did retest that one yesterday. I'd probably throw a stop maybe at like 450. Maybe look to buy around 462 if you want to. That's a lot of selling in a row. So you could get a little bit of a bounce. I don't think we start. I mean, it's going to be a meme stock. So the gorillas, the apes, they might be able to get it through this resistance. Otherwise, watch that 494. Wayfair. Shop could be interesting. We got Shop. We got Roku as well. Take a look at that one. Nice gap up on Wayfair. Tracy, are you in Wayfair? Are you playing this one? Yeah, that looks pretty crazy. There's no volume over here whatsoever. Next target, maybe even for today, about $83. I got to put this one on the list. Again, I don't want to be the first one to buy it. This is a retest gap, so have a little patience on it. That looks like we are starting to break out pretty decently, though. Nice, beautiful close on Friday. Above all the other resistance. Let's see if we can get this pullback. I would love to buy it, maybe 73.30. I don't know if we drop that far, but Wayfair is definitely going to be one to watch. Shop could be interesting. The Shopify. What do I got? A minute 30. Still inside from Thursday. So Friday was an inside day. Technically, right now we're still on an inside day. This is also a retest gap, so I think patience that open. We should have a little bit of resistance, I think, coming in around 68.30. That's where I'd want to see break. If it does, next spot would be probably 69, and then after that, 69.92. And then if we could break that, we're going to make a pretty decent sized move. Good volume came in again with the rest of the market on that Thursday. And we've already got rejected off of, we didn't quite even get up to this range yet. So 68.30 is going to be my price target today. This would be another one to watch if it pulls back. Give me a little retest. And that could get a little fun. I do agree. And if we do pivot here too, in a longer term sense on the daily, we are making new higher lows. So that could be impressive. I got 20 seconds left. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look at DPZ real quick. Domino's Pizza, watch out. They are spready. So on a day trade, make sure that you have your stops probably a little bit wider so that you can move it, lose less than an hour. Otherwise, you're going to get probably bad fills on it. But Domino's Pizza looks like it's just kind of hanging out for now. Probably, let's see, a little pullback maybe coming in. You are at resistance. But everybody out there in YouTube land, make sure, again, you guys can join us all week long. You don't have to leave us yet, but I do have to end the YouTube stream. You guys are incredible. Hopefully I see you guys into the other chat. Just go to reallifetrading.com. We have